guys doing? Mark Saint here for another live stream. It's Monday, the 19th of May, and we are here together for another hour or so of conversations, information sharing. We're going to learn with each other. It's going to be amazing. Let me just check if the sound is working. Great. We're going to learn from each other. You guys are going to ask me questions. I'm going to be answering your questions. I'm going to be asking you guys other questions. And so we're going to get out of this live stream of this hour or so better than when we started, right? Thank you very much for being here. I want to apologize for last Friday. I just ended up starting the live stream a little earlier than usual, and also finishing earlier than usual because your friend here was crazy about playing soccer. It had been a long time since I played soccer, so I said I need to go there. I need to talk to them. I need to play some basketball. And so I went, and it was amazing. But I ended up not finishing the live stream as I wanted, with an hour or 2 hours of conversation as I normally do. But okay, we always have the day after, so I'm here for us to talk, right? Thank you very much for being here. I want to say that you guys are all welcome. Just pay attention to a few rules. Try not to use bad words. Try not to curse anybody here because we are all together as friends, as a BU nation, as a family, as a nation of people who really like Brazil. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. And you are always welcome, but please be respectful. Another thing, make sure you are a subscriber to the channel, because if you are coming here for the first time and you haven't subscribed, please do so. It's very important that you help this channel grow on the metrics, right? The more viewers, the more videos are watched, and so on. You understand how the algorithm works, right? Another thing, if you want to cooperate, you can click on the like button for you to help us have relevance on YouTube. Remember, our focus here is to be the biggest and the best channel that talks about Brazil on YouTube. I hope I can get there someday, but of course I depend upon your support always. You guys are the reason for me to be here, and for me to produce the videos, right? If you guys want to send a super chat, it's always welcome. I'm not going to turn that down. I'm not going to reject that. It's very good. You're going to help us a lot. Just reminding you that we also have a community of supporters to the channel. We have 3 groups, basically. The groups of the tourists, the groups of the residents, and the groups of the citizens. You just go, you check the perks that you can receive in exchange for your support, and help us a lot. I think your help will go a long way. The category of tourists, just so you know, it's just $3. It's $3 a month, but it goes a long way for us to keep producing things, especially with the costs of transportation. When I go make videos abroad, outside of the state, outside of the city, as I used to in the beginning. So a lot of people still ask me, Mark, why don't you travel more? Why don't you go to Santa Catarina, to Rio Grande do Sul? Everything like this is costly. I have other professions in Brazil. I don't work exclusively with YouTube. You know that. I have other things that I do. I wear many different hats. So if you guys help me grow this channel to the point it becomes more than 50% of my income, of course I'm going to be producing much more. In the meantime, I have to juggle with the things that I do and also produce the best and the most relevant content for you guys. Thank you very much for all the messages I've been receiving. Baldini, how are you, my friend? Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I just answered your messages. It means the world when you guys interact with the content. There are so many things you can do, right? Without having to put your hands in your pocket. Oh, if you want to support us a little bit more, as I was saying, we have categories. But other things are like Baldini's doing. Baldini's watching the videos, writing whatever comment he wants. You can write, you're free to write as many comments as you want. If you want to put 50 comments in one video, I'm going to answer the 50 comments because you guys are helping me. So it's a pleasure, right? And you know, the algorithm will start saying, I think this video is relevant. I'm going to spread this to others. Saying in a simple way, right? Saying that in a simple way, right? So please do. Please interact with the video, write your messages, and it's going to be fantastic for the channel. I also want to say that I've been failing with you guys on the production of videos every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but it still remains. The point is I'm thinking of attacking in another form, so I'm more prone to producing shorts for a period of time because I want the channel to reach a level that it has never done before, and I'm pretty sure with this strategy things are going to work out. So I ask you for your patience and your support, but I'm going to be still posting new videos, but in the meantime I'm going to be also working on producing short videos to reach a bigger public and to increase the BU Nation here, okay? Baldini, the Carlo video was interesting, I agree. I was also browsing here the news on the country, and it talks a lot about Carlo Ancelotti. It's incredible how this has brought a breath of fresh air to the public, you know, that were so disappointed to the Brazilian squad. People are now even talking about a World Cup title in the United States next year, which is very interesting. Just so you know how the spirits have been lifted in this country in terms of soccer. So the Brazilians are very excited. And I think you saw, right, Baldini? I was walking on the night walk video. I was on Paulista Avenue, and there were many newsstands. I think you guys saw that it's a thing here on Paulista Avenue to have lots of big newsstands that not only sell newspapers, they sell cigarettes, they sell toys, even toys, action figures. They sell jackets, believe me. They sell Brazilian jerseys and also the cap. By the way, I saw a cap from the Seleção Brasileira, the Brazilian national team, that I want to buy. I might be doing this in the next few days because I really like it. It was yellow and it has the CBF, this symbol here. Oh, here, okay. This one here. It has this in the middle of the cap, so I really like it. So people are very excited because of the information that Carlo Ancelotti will be the coach, the head coach of Brazil. And they're also talking about other people from the commission because apparently he's bringing all the management of the team, right? The staff that worked with him at Real Madrid, they're bringing to Brazil. So his son, everybody, it's incredible. And they're also talking about Kaká, which was one of our best players here in the past, to become part of the commission because he worked with Kaká when he was at Milan. So that's very interesting. Did you notice the view? That's true, man. When I was making, guys, the things that you say, they stick with me, believe me. Sometimes I don't have time to do it immediately because of the many things that I do. If you follow my Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. Like on Saturday morning, I was in a place, and on Saturday afternoon, I was in another place, and on Saturday night, I was in another place. Basically traveling, because working for the channel. But it stuck with me because you said, hey, do this and do it now. And because it's not only football, Baldini, it's also the point of getting a hot topic. So as Carlo Ancelotti is a hot topic still, if you talk about him, people will search more and they will end up coming across your video. So that's what happened. But yeah, the video was much better than the others. I agree. I intend to keep covering sports, especially soccer or football. Ana Alice Boldorini, oh, what a pleasure it is to have you here. How are you, my dear? Ana, if you guys don't know, is a student of mine for the English classes. As you guys might know by now, I'm also an English teacher. I do everything, guys. I'm not a professional chef. Other than that, I do a lot of things. So Anna is my dear student, great friend. She and her husband are very nice people, and it's a pleasure to have you here, Anna. I hope you can enjoy our conversation. I hope you can ask. I hope you can debate, or if you just prefer watch and see a lot of bullshit that I say, it's up to you. Okay. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Do not forget that, okay? Have you noticed now I don't have to look by my side for me to read the chat? It's getting better, no? I'm little by little improving things around here. Now I have a computer here just for me to check the sound and the image to see if everything is working, but I also can read the chat directly, right? Like this and like this. Guys, just one thing, remember to subscribe to the secondary channel. I have a channel about Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese with Mark Saint. If you haven't subscribed there, please do. Okay, go there, subscribe. Hi, Travel Tales, how are you, my friend? How's everything? So go there, subscribe to the secondary channel so that you can help me as well. One second, let me check something here. Hey, Travel Tales, I was checking if I had subscribed to your channel or to Travel Jonas's channel, because I have these two subscribers, Travel Tales, Travel Jones. I just opened a Travel Tales channel here. Is that yours? New videos every Sunday. Is that yours? 11,000 people. Am I in the right place? Because if I am, I'm going to subscribe to your channel right now. And I'm going to ask people to do the same, because Travel Tales is a very nice subscriber, always following us here. So do that. I can see a beautiful couple here. Is that yours? Confirm, please. Please confirm. No, that's not you. Really, it's written Travel Tales. So look, the guy is using your name as well. I don't know if you have a channel on YouTube already, because if you do, you will have a trouble if you don't. I mean, if you wanna open. You don't really post. Okay, that's okay. So I am making like an ad for another channel that it has nothing to do with you. I think then I subscribe to Travel Jones. Yes. Okay. But anyways, very nice. Did you open this account on YouTube thinking of having a channel, or it was just an idea to write this, Travel Tales? Oh, I can see you saw my Avenida Paulista video. Did you? So a lot of people are writing me about this Avenida Paulista video because they say they like the night, they like the movement, and they think I should write more. I should produce more. I should record more. And I'm planning to do that. I'm planning to go to other areas at night as well. Always showing you the pros and cons. Just an idea, may do down the road. Yes, and then you're going to have to change your name, buddy. Because there's a guy here that already has Travel Tales. 11,000 subscribers. Yeah. But anyways. So people are telling me to write, to produce. Why am I saying writing? You know? I think I spent too much time writing books. To produce more videos at night. right? Showing the nightlife, the bars. It was a Thursday, as you guys saw. It was about 6 p.m. But you saw the movement. Like I myself was impressed. And I don't know if you guys noticed, I was walking and there was a group of tourists from the United States. I know because of the accent, right? They just walked past me speaking English. I should have gone there and say, "Hey, hi, how are you?" But I ended up not doing it. I'm gonna try to be more, more conversational when I go to the streets. I think it would bring some spice to the video. What do you think? Give me your opinion. If I stopped to people and started, "Hey, do you want to talk to the world? Let's talk about Brazil. Where are you from?" Or, "Hey, where are you coming from?" Maybe I could do this. I think it would be interesting for you guys watching, right? And remember, your suggestions are always welcome. If you have anything that you want to suggest about what I should do in terms of the video production, I'm here. I'm all ears, okay? Come, give me suggestions. Tell me what exactly I should have done in one specific video that I did, that you watched and you thought I lacked something, or any regions that you think I should go. Look, I have a notebook right here. If you guys want to suggest anything, it's always welcome, okay? So last week was a very hard week, right? That's why we didn't have any content in terms of videos, and also the live streams were so short because it was complicated. I had to go to the hospital with my mother and father like twice, Monday and Thursday, so it took a toll on me. But we're back to producing things. I will edit a few videos after this stream tonight because I want to post them on the channel here. And also keep an eye on the shorts. I'm going to be revisiting old videos that I have on the channel that somehow you guys didn't see. And I'm going to transform them into shorts for you guys to, to have a suggestion of what you guys can binge. And we can talk about it, okay? Did you hear about the record-breaking 4.5 million to Davisa Rio de Janeiro last month? I did not. Wow, I did not. I'm going to take notes right now. Just so you see that Rio de Janeiro is still a thing, and I think it will always be a thing. So for that reason, I got so angry. I got so angry at the government because they should be working on more security, more protection, more crime fighting in order to guarantee tourists and visitors in general have the time of their lives when they go to Rio, 4.5 million visitors. Hey, Travel Tales, did you by any chance get any information on where those people were from? I would bet and say they were either Argentinians or Americans because that's the two biggest people to come here, right? The two biggest public to come and visit. I'm gonna make a video about it and I'm gonna thank you in person. Not in person, I mean, I'm gonna thank you during the video. Hey, this is your suggestion. Thank you for that. Like, I forgot to thank Baldini in the video because Baldini gave me the suggestion of the. Yeah, Argentinians, 2 million people. This is to stop that stupid thing that Argentinians hate Brazilians and this kind of thing. This is just a football thing, guys. Or, as I'm speaking American English, it's just a soccer thing. It's nothing to do with personal. Brazilians like the Argentinians. They travel there a lot and vice versa. So the guys come to Brazil in numbers. All other than that is just a joke, is just brothers playing or mocking one another. That's all. Like I did in my video about what is the name of it? Bangladesh, that is divided in two parts, the Brazilian fans and the Argentinian fans. I mocked the guys. The guys responded on the channel. Nobody was mad at me. This is funny. They criticized what I said, but nobody offended me. Nobody said bad things. They were just, of course, you're Brazilian. What do you expect? So nobody got angry. Just for you to see that it's just bullshit, you know? Yeah, Lady Gaga concert was something big, Anna. I think it was a record breaker for Lady Gaga, no? The biggest public she has ever had. The biggest audience, I would say, not public, audience. Can you do videos about Palmeiras? They will play. That's true, man. They will play in the World Cup next month in the United States. They produce a lot of amazing players, and they have Leila as a president. I know you are a true caller, but it's okay, buddy. Take a look. As I root for São Paulo, right? I like São Paulo Futebol Clube, but I'm not a fanatic. I actually have a motto for me. I don't follow things that make me stupid. I know that, for example, I have a friend, and it's like a longtime friend. He's a Corinthians supporter. The guy doesn't wear green. As simple as that. He doesn't wear green. So there's no green in his house, nothing, not even the Brazilian flag. Why? Because green belongs to Palmeiras. Oh, come on, give me a break, you know? That's why I hate discussing politics, this kind of things, because people get blind. So I wouldn't have any problems to talk about Palmeiras, consider it done. Thanks for the suggestion. Do you know the other teams, Baldini? Let's check your level of soccer. And by the way, I entered your profile a couple of minutes ago, and I saw you are a Chelsea fan. Is that true? I saw 3 videos about Chelsea there. I thought you were American. Are you American? Are you British? And if you're American, you're a fan of Chelsea, it's possible. So, just asking. But yeah, I have no problems to make a video about Palmeiras. I want to know if you know the other teams that will participate. No cheating, don't check, okay? So, Palmeiras video. That idea of the Club World Cup in the format of the regular World Cup was an amazing idea FIFA has had. Kudos to the guys. Amazing. I always imagined this happening, and they finally did it, because the other way or the other format was not cool. This one is really amazing. It's gonna be like groups of 4, just like a World Cup. And then we're gonna have the eighth finals, quarterfinals. Amazing! Imagine the club of your heart at the finals, playing versus a big team in the world. Amazing. Oh, Ana is Corinthiana as well, and she says she doesn't like green. Ana is another fanatic. She's not stupid, okay? But she's another fanatic. By the way, every Corintiano is very fanatic. Incredible. These guys are sick. They are like Boca Juniors, you know, the Boca Juniors supporters in Argentina. I heard they have their own cemetery. Can you believe this? Only Boca Juniors supporters are buried there. That's crazy. Corinthians are the same. The guys are crazy about Corinthians. They go everywhere. It's in Japan. They go and they flood Japan to watch a game, and they won't stop singing the whole game. So much so, they enchant people. Like, I saw an American guy who came to Brazil, watched a game. Somebody invited him for a soccer game. He became a fan. Now he's a Corinthians supporter, and he comes to Brazil all the time just to watch the games, man. It's incredible. Ah, Palmeiras you will play Inter Miami or Chelsea. You're talking about Chelsea, right? Wow. Travel Tales, you're a fan of a club in Minas Gerais? Which one? Is that Cruzeiro or Atlético Mineiro? Cruzeiro is the blue one. Atlético, you know, is the black one. We call them Galo, right? Cruzeiro, they all have nicknames, right? Cruzeiro is Raposa, uh, and then Atlético Mineiro is Galo, right? They call my team Bambi because they say it's a team made of gays. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Atlético Mineiro, okay. So we call the Corinthians Gambás, which is a skunk. Palmeiras is the pigs, the porcos. Santos is the fish, peixe, because it's from the coast, right? It's the team of São Paulo that is on the coast. Palmeiras versus Inter Miami, okay. So, Baldini, you are aware of how talented the coach of Palmeiras is, no? I always forget his name, man. What is the name of the coach of Palmeiras? My goodness. Abel Braga. I remember. I didn't even need to, but let me finish. Palmeiras. Yeah, no, Abel Ferreira, not Abel Braga. Abel Braga is another guy. So Abel Ferreira. Abel Ferreira is a Portuguese guy, very talented. He came to Brazil to coach Palmeiras, started winning everything. And of course, Palmeiras is a millionaire team. They didn't want the guy to leave, so they fought very much to renew the contract. And this guy is making tons of money. He's making a bundle in Brazil now, not to be bought by another guy. Hi, my friend, Charles Jones. Always a pleasure to have you here, my brother. Always a pleasure. Yes, I was talking. We're talking about the clubs that are going to the World Cup of Clubs next month, which is in your country, right? I have a lot of Americans here tonight. Thank you very much for being the biggest public of supporters on this channel. It's not me saying. When you look at YouTube and you see the analytics, the Americans are today the biggest audience that I have on the channel. You guys have overpassed the Brazilians. Congratulations on this. But I want to see a fight. All the people's trying to compete, so that means I'm gonna have more and more views. So keep up the good work, okay? Lost to Chelsea in the World. Yes, that's true. But thanks for Steven William. Oh, you guys are very, very interacted and connected to what's going on with the Brazilian soccer. Congratulations. That's not very common, you know. I was born in 1980, so that means I'm 44. And I remember, guys, back in the 80s, beginning of the 90s, speaking about Americans was like just thinking of baseball, basketball, because I saw Michael Jordan play. I had this opportunity. I mean, on TV, of course. I'm a lucky guy. I saw Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan. Amazing. Fantastic. A little of the Queen, maybe. I don't remember when Freddie Mercury passed, but I think I saw a little of the Queen. U2 play a lot. They still do, but they did more in the past. But anyways, when we thought of you guys, it was just baseball, basketball, the American football where you guys kick a peanut. You kick once and you call it a football. I'm not even getting started on this because I know it's a big thing. But I have seen some British people say, it's not football. It could be called peanut something, but not football. But anyways, I'm very happy to see that you guys are diversifying now. After Brazil won back in 1994 with Romario and Parreira as the manager, you guys started paying more attention to soccer. That was very nice. But you know, your female team is a dream team, right? It beats everybody. It's incredible. I remember when I was in London, guys. I was inside an elevator, and there were two British guys talking on the. I think a younger guy and an older guy. Say, "Oh, how was your trip to the U.S.?" It's okay. We played soccer. We played football, and the guy said, "Yeah, they think it's just a sport for girls, right?" And the guy said, "Yes, they just think it's a sport for girls." So it was very weird for them to see me play. Funny, that was in 2009, which was already popular, but I heard that from a British guy, because I know soccer was more popular with the girls, if I'm not mistaken. Club World Cup, yes. Let me read the comments here. I think I need glasses. My God. Getting old. Going to Chelsea match versus Flamengo. Man, if you have the opportunity, go see all the games. I mean, all the games that you like, because I think it would be so cool. If I could, I would. I have some friends saying, no, we're going to bring you to the United States to see the World Cup. Yeah, they just need to let me, right? I need to get the visa because I don't have it. But I would like to see all these games. I would like to see the Brazilian teams doing well. Let's see. Because one thing that is for sure, there will be a competition here in South America by saying, oh, we got further than you guys. Oh, we got further than you. So there will be this competition, right, between Argentinians and Brazilians. But of course, we will get further than them. And who knows, maybe win. Oh, look at this. The Brazilian got me through a very difficult period when I was extremely sick. Watched the Botafogo fumble the league title. Very good, man. This is the power of sports, right? They have the power of bringing joy. At the beginning, I kind of distanced myself from this because I thought, people just talk about soccer here in Brazil. Wherever you go, people will talk about soccer. I hate that. They don't have any other subject. But today I understand the importance of soccer or football. Let's say football. For this country, because it works as soft power. It works as diplomacy for us. I mean, everybody knows Brazil because of soccer, right? On the good side, of course. A lot of people. I remember I was in front of the British Museum, and there was a Japanese guy. At least he was Japanese descendant, and he was wearing a Brazilian jersey at the time. So look, I'm talking about 2009, right? So the last time we won the World Cup was 2002. 2006 we lost. And the guy was wearing a Brazilian jersey. And then a family, I mean, everybody was surrounded because he was, doing that, forgot how to say, kick up, right? He was kicking the ball up and showing his abilities. And a lot of people were surrounding him to watch. And I remember a little boy came over and he looked British. Apparently he was British, but he was wearing a Brazilian jersey as well. So when the Japanese guy was kicking the ball, or the Asian boy, he looked at the boy and said, oh, he did this and kissed the symbol. So it was very nice to see how Brazil is popular in terms of soccer. So I think we need to really capitalize on that, because that's an open window for the rest of the world. You know what I mean? When I was in Chile as well, everybody asked me about the soccer teams, and they wanted to listen to me. Oh, you're from Brazil? Amazing. How about Ronaldinho Gaúcho? So it was very nice to see. So what's going on in downtown São Paulo? There are videos all over YouTube saying the big problem is gone. They don't know where the people went. If you guys are not familiar to what Charles Jones is speaking, Charles is talking about Cracolândia. There is an area in São Paulo called Crack Land, literal translation, because it has a lot of addicted people in that region. It's a sanitation problem, but it's also a health problem because these people are addicted to crack, to drugs in general. And there is a street they gather in the downtown area just to consume the drugs. So there's a big clash between sides here saying that that taking these people into rehab should be demanded, not suggested. It should be forced. There's another word I don't remember if you guys can help me for that. But it should be forced. They should take these people by force and compulsory maybe and take them to the rehab. And some other people say it's against the Constitution. They have the right to decide on whether or not they want to be treated. So it's a big clash. It's a complication. The downtown area is so beautiful with quaint buildings, bringing the Portuguese tradition, the Italian, and there are areas that are simply not possible to be visited due to the number of addicted junkies, right? And what happened? A couple of days ago, the newspaper, the local newspaper, reported on the headline, probably the front page, that the guys had disappeared. Not only the newspaper reported, nowadays everybody's a reporter. If you have a cell phone and you post on your Instagram, then it can go viral and people will be talking about this a lot. So all the workers, all the street vendors, all the clerks, the salespeople from the stores of the surrounding areas, they noticed that and they took pictures and they even filmed. They said, what happened? Because we were accustomed to arriving here on a Saturday morning and see a lot of zombies, really like The Walking Dead. And I'm not joking, it's serious. The guys look like zombies if you see. They, with those eyes very, wide open, asking for money sometimes, harassing you. And she said, they disappeared. Like, in a snap of fingers, the guys are gone. What happened? So this called the attention of the media, and the media started noticing and reporting and trying to investigate to see what happened. Who forced these people out? Because there are no reports that these people have migrated to other specific areas, as far as I have heard, okay? I don't know exactly. I can open the newspaper here and check a website here. But at least the city hall said, look, we're investigating to learn what happened to these people. Because we didn't do anything. We respect the Constitution. These people are free. They're Brazilian citizens. They decide on what they want to do with their lives. Right? If you agree with that or not, it's another story. It's another topic. I have my own opinion. But then the guys disappeared. Right? And some people are saying, and even reporting, that the Guarda Civil, what are the police forces here? We have the military. When I say military police, is because in Portuguese we say polícia militar. What your cops in the United States, for example, are, let's take New York, for example, the guys in black uniform, like the ones that patrol the streets. They are our military police. We call that the military police. I know in English military police is a police inside the army. I understand that, okay? But we do have that, but we call Polícia do Exército, because Exército in Portuguese is army in English. So when you say Polícia Militar, here in São Paulo, in the whole Brazil actually, the uniforms will change the colors, but the idea is the same. So when you talk about the Polícia Militar in São Paulo, we're talking about a very well-trained police with heavy guns, machine guns, all kinds of weapons, automatic pistols, and they have that gray uniform. So they patrol the streets, right? And then we have the civil police, which is for investigation, right? And the civil police is responsible for discovering drug trafficking, investigating all kinds of crime that are deeper, so that involves intelligent investigation is the civil police. And we also have the guards, right? The Guarda Civil, which is the civilian guard or some civil guard. It's the same with the very nice cars. If you watch the video that I made on on Paulista Avenue, and I posted last Friday, you can see them. Pay attention to when I enter Paulista. Every two corners there was a police car. Fantastic, very good for the people. But not only Polícia Militar, we also had Guarda Civil. And they had a plaid design on the car, white, GCM, it was written. Guarda Civil Metropolitana, Metropolitan Civilian Guard, something like this. GCM. These guys nowadays have the power of police, thanks to the law. They have because at the beginning, at the creation of the law, of the institution, sorry, they were meant to protect the kids and the schools, I guess, something like that. But nowadays they have gone over this and they have the power of police. They can arrest you if you do something wrong. So people are saying these guys are beating up the drug addicts, and they're forcing these people out of the city, or at least out of the region. I don't know what is true or what is not. I haven't studied or checked anything about that. I'm following, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on. It might be true that the police is forcing them out, or it might not. We don't know. But what is clear is that something different happened, because it forced these people out of the blue to get away from the places where they used to be. So that's weird, right? We had soccer leagues back in the day, but they failed. Incorrect on a lot of the history in the U.S. soccer. Our federation was from 1913. But what he meant, Charles, is that it's never been popular. Not since Brazil won back in 1994, at least among the male public, the audience, right? As far as we know, right? So you guys didn't even have your league. Nowadays you have MLS, right? I mean, a strong one that competed. Nowadays you have an MLS that is hiring soccer players to play. So that's what he meant, I believe, in the elevator that day. Interesting. Very good to know from an American. Ah, so you are also a Chelsea supporter. So that's you and that's Baldini, also American who likes Chelsea. I'm very happy I'm not wearing my cap here because I have a friend called Saif who is from England. And he gave me, last time he came to São Paulo, he brought me a souvenir. He gave me a cap from Liverpool, and by the side of it, it's really beautiful. It's all yellow, and by the side of it has the Brazilian flag. So it's very nice. It's the symbol of Liverpool and the Brazilian flag. I have worn this cap a couple of times, even during a class that I had with my American students, and one of them is Kevin, who Charles knows very well. And Kevin's a Manchester United supporter, so he got very pissed when he saw me wearing the cap from Chelsea, from Liverpool, right? So I'm not gonna, I'm happy that I'm not wearing that tonight, not to piss you guys off. Yes, Mexico and Canada, that's true. That's true. Travel Tales is talking about the national the club World Cup, right? It's gonna happen in these three countries as the World Cup next year is gonna happen. Josh, how are you? Good evening, man. This is a guy who goes straight to the questions. He doesn't say, "Hey, how are you?" But I'm saying for you, how's everything, my brother? Halls is not seen as a medicine. Wow, what an Joshua has very interesting comments and questions. You know, sometimes he gets too carried away with other things like Guyana, but in general, he has very good questions. Just giving you a hard time, buddy. I have recently heard that Halls for you guys is medication. For us, it's a candy. At least that's the way they sold the candy for us. That's what they said when they came to Brazil, you know? Believe me. It's a candy for us because it's refreshing. It's like mint. So it's like having a normal candy, right? So we go to the for example, we go to the bakery, we buy our things, and then when you go to pay, normally the cashier has this glass thing that has a lot of candies. One of them is Halls. And in Brazil, you have all flavors. You have grape. I will make a video one day about this, or even a short video. I'll go somewhere and say, hey guys, take a look. In Brazil, you have all combinations of flavors: grape, green grape, you have apple, you have strawberry, cherry, a super strong flavor that is a black one, but it's not for medication. It's a candy, basically. Just so you know, people used to buy that sometimes to have it before they kissed. I did this so many times. Sometimes I went out with a girl, for example. We spent hours together, and you know you want a more refreshing breath. So I put this in the mouth some minutes before I kissed the girl. So it was very common. I spent my teenagehood doing this, Josh, using Halls as a kissing thing. It was fantastic, I have to say, because it gave a special flavor for the kiss. Amazing. So yes, here in Brazil, people have it as a candy, not as a medicine. Fantastic. I know you guys use because of the throat, no? But I wonder what flavors you guys got there. You're talking about an episode on South Park. In which part, Baldini, do you think I was talking about an episode on South Park? There's a delay, right? You guys receive what I say a few seconds later, or maybe many seconds later. But, well, I have already answered your question how Halls is used in Brazil. But this second part, is it used in desserts? No. No, because it's a candy. It's like getting a minty candy and putting a dessert. Doesn't make sense. But in drinks, I have heard. I have heard of Halls being used in drinks. I don't remember which drink they do that. I don't remember if it's true, but let me check. And I never tried, okay? That's so crazy, no? These things, they have different usages. Hall's medication, for me, it's so weird to think about that. We have other drops that are used for this specific thing, like, oh, you have a problem in your throat, you're coughing. We have other kinds, but then you buy at the pharmacy, not in a supermarket or a candy store. Halls you buy in a candy store in Brazil. I just found Yeah, okay, Bodini. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a South Park thing, definitely. Take a look. I just found, Josh, a video on Instagram called Delícia Drinks. Delícia in Portuguese means delicious, you know? The guys are showing a drink that uses halls. Let me see to confirm. Ah, but yes, it's the strawberry halls. Let me show you. Check that out. Condensed milk, strawberry halls. It says here that it's gonna let your breath refreshing with the halls. It's a drink. One more time. Oh, ice cubes and water. I don't know what that is. Let me see. Ah, vodka. They put vodka. They put something called grenadine. I don't know what that is. Or what is that? I think this one is Brazilian. Currant. Currant. I think this is the name. Portuguese we call, or gooseberry. Portuguese we call groselha. And then they put the hulls. It's called gummy juice or gummy drink. It says here you can change the flavor. It doesn't have to be the strawberry one. You can use the black one. The black one is the strongest. But interesting. Never thought one day I would learn that Halls is a medication, or actually medicine, simple medicine, right? Over the counter medicine, I guess. Guys, remember to smash the like button, please. Very important that you guys interact with the content of the channel. And that goes also for every video that you watch around here. If you want to help me or help the channel grow and have a contribution on the future success, I'm pretty sure you guys want that. So remember to smash the like button. Remember to leave a comment every time you watch something around here. Okay, I want to thank each and every one of you who does that. It's very important. Okay. Still on the sports realm, I want to say that we're gonna have a new president at the CBF, which is the Confederação Brasileira de Futebol, because the guy who is there right now, the guy who announced Carlo Ancelotti. Some people say he did this in order to try to escape some criticism and some scandals that he's involved with. He is leaving. He can't be there anymore, so there's just one guy that will run for the presidency. I guess there's no other candidate, so he's leaving. Okay? Let me see anything else that is interesting. They're still talking about the embargoes for the Brazilian meat because of the bird flu. They're saying that Brazil is fighting in order to investigate what's going on and try to find a solution for that. So look, according to, oh, let me put that in English. Translate. The Ministry of Agriculture cited the countries that stopped receiving chicken meat from Brazil after the first record of bird flu on a commercial farm in Brazil identified in Rio Grande do Sul last Thursday, the 19th. According to a preliminary government survey, 20 countries have stopped receiving exports of the bird, in addition to those that make up the European Union. Some blockades apply to production in the sector throughout Brazil, and others are more localized. The ministry promises to release in the coming days a complete list with all embargoes that and the type of product blocked in each destination. In total, this sector exports to 160 countries. So far we have Argentina, national restriction according to a note released by the country's government. South Africa, national restriction. Bahrain, restriction on poultry products from Rio Grande do Sul. Bolivia, national restriction. Canada, national. China, national for 60 days. Chile, national. Singapore, 10 kilometers radius of the outbreak on the farm in the municipality of Montenegro. South Korea, national. Cuba, restriction on products from Rio Grande do Sul. Some countries decide to only focus on products that come from there because they know the rest are not affected, right? Japan, restriction on the municipality of Montenegro, where the flu outbreak was found on a farm. Malaysia, national. Morocco, Mexico, Pakistan, Peru, Dominican Republic, Russia, Sri Lanka, European Union, Uruguay, all national restrictions. I hope they really sort that out fast. Because as I said, that's a shame that this is happening to Rio Grande do Sul, right? After the natural problems that we had last year, the guys are trying to get back on their feet and then they have this problem. Now, Josh, I'm talking about CBF president, no president of Brazil, okay? President of Brazil is still Lula. It's gonna be for another year, I guess. I'm talking about the president of the Brazilian Soccer or Football Confederation. Bolsonaro cannot run again because he is involved in trying, according to the authorities here, to plan a coup d'etat to remain in power. When he lost the election, he said it was bought and it was illegal. And according to these authorities, he convinced his supporters to go to Brasilia, our capital, and invade the public places and take the power by force. And that's why he is forbidden to try to compete for any public position for the next, I don't know, maybe 10 years. I don't know exactly. I try not to prolong, I'm just answering your question. I try not to focus on politics here because that's a very complicated topic to discuss, right? The Bolivianas, they say sorry if it's a bad word. What's going on? I don't understand your comment here. The Bolivianas, they say sorry if it is bad word. You look like them. What's going on in Rio Grande do Sul? Just told you about the bird flu in one of the municipalities called Montenegro. Buddy, some people say he's Control C, Control V of Donald Trump, or I've heard a funny name. He's the Trump of the tropics. or he's a Trump of the down the line of equator, because this guy, first of all, he's a big fan of Donald Trump, big fan, and some people joke that he has a poster of Donald Trump in his bedroom, and many things he did was based on what Trump does. And the funny thing, like the what you guys had in the U.S. was January the 6th. Here for us was January the 8th. So, my God, I have already talked about this. Like, oh, we could copy the U.S. in other things, not in these things, right? Exactly. But not ours was Jan 8th. That's what we say here. But it's bizarre, especially for you guys. Imagine you're leaving the U.S. not to be involved in this politics and this clash between two sides, and then you come to Brazil, and here is the same thing. We have the left and the right, and the reasonable people in the middle, and then you have all these problems. Oh my God, it sucks. Okay, no problem. Thanks for being here, buddy. What else? This is new. I don't know if you guys heard. The United States offered 10 million reais for information on Hezbollah in Brazil. That's new for me. I kind of overheard something before 3 p.m. today. I was working on other things. Like, because Brazil has business with Iran or something like this, it's probably a possible venue for the growth of Hezbollah. That's crazy. But maybe they have information that we don't know, right? What else is going on? Let me check. Something away from politics. They have arrested a priest from a Catholic church because he was drunk and he was threatening people at the gas station. That's just crazy, no? Just crazy. There's a new movie from Brazil called The Secret Agent that is, making waves. I've been hearing about it for the past 2 days. I want to sit down and learn about it because we just had a very good movie, right? That got an Oscar, and now this one. They say that the Cannes Festival applauded very much this movie, so it might be really good. Wagner Moura is amazing. Man, don't ask me university questions. I'm just a simple guy. I don't know what implications result in being in the tropics. No idea. It's hotter, maybe. Brazil tends to be hotter than many countries. We don't have really established seasons, but who does nowadays, right? Because of global changes. Who does? So normally in the winter, sometimes you don't have the winter. Sometimes it's really hot. Like today, for example. Today is supposed to be fall, right? We are in the fall here in Brazil. Very stuffy day, man. I'm here with the window closed and the door closed, but my ears are starting to burn. It's very warm here, and also the light on me. So basically, this what I know is that Brazil is our winter is what you guys would desire. It would be a normally spring day. That's our winter. Or many Canadians told me once, if you knew our winter, you would never complain about yours. Or like Jonathan, my friend from New York, says, Brazilians have no idea what winter is. No idea, because this is beautiful, you know. Thank you for the Chelsea hat. It will be accepted. If you want to bring me a jersey, a sweatshirt, whatever, a hoodie, I don't care. I really have no prejudice against teams. I like football very much. I know that the English teams are really good. Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea, uh, Liverpool, right? Who am I forgetting? And many Brazilians play in England. Many. And they are idolized there sometimes, you know. I can't mention the names because I don't remember, but I remember one Brazilian retiring and leaving. I don't know if it was at Chelsea. Oh, the fans had a music for this guy, like a chant that mentioned his name. They were there to pay tribute to the guy. Fantastic. As I said, Brazil is very well known because of soccer, so I think we should keep this in the high standards because it's a way to attract the people to get to know Brazil. I have many friends, for example, that fell in love with Brazil because of the soccer players. They followed Ronaldo, for example, and because of Ronaldo, they learned about Brazil. Because of the country, they learned about the language. So one thing led to another. The guy ended up studying Portuguese, visiting the country very often, learning about the politics, learning about the culture, visiting many states. And they say, my life has changed. Some of them even got into a relationship with Brazilians because of the passion for the country, you know. Everything started because of soccer. So that's fantastic. When I learned about that, I stopped overlooking soccer, you know. Thiago Silva, Davi Luiz, Oscar, Ramires, exactly. Very good. Thank you, Baldini. Are all these people you mentioned from Chelsea or they are from other teams as well? Four seasons, left a ledge. Exactly. Thiago Silva was a monster, right? It's a monster. There are cases of Brazilians who play really well um, for their clubs, but when they come to the national team, they suck, right? Vini Jr., for example, who plays for Real Madrid, I don't like him. At least playing for the national team, he sucks big time. William, very good. Davi Luiz, I think it's is still playing for Flamengo. Don't remember. But Vini Jr., I like the players like Romario, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho Gaúcho, who played really well in their clubs and they came to the national team and they destroyed. They were incredible, you know. Ah, interesting. Very nice. Davi Luiz unfortunately was among the players that lost to Germany for 7-1. I don't know what happened to that squad at the time. I think there was a big political discussion or argument inside Brazil at the time that made the people kind of over the edge because they would cry a lot. I think the soccer players had no emotional control during that World Cup. The first time in years that we had a World Cup in Brazil, and the guys were not okay. They were unbalanced in so many ways. And David Luiz unfortunately was in the field when we lost 7 goals to 1 to Germany. Interesting. Baldini talked about Palmeiras, right? We had that player from Palmeiras, Hendrick, right? That here played really well. Was very young a boy. I don't know how he's doing in Spain. I need to follow these things. I'm sometimes so busy that have no time for that, man, to follow other things. Yes, Josh, Brazil has always been known for its geography, but the culture has played a very good, very big card in terms of popularity of the country, you know? Yeah. I need to follow more. By the way, guys, last Saturday I was filming with Pina. If you guys are avid subscribers of the channel, you might remember I made a video with Pina, uh, who is a guy here that I met, a monarchist, who has a very beautiful charity work with the kids from the favelas, from the communities. And he offers an opportunity for them to play soccer, give them instruction about life, about respect, about even singing the national anthem, and take them away from the streets or take them out of the streets for them not to be victims of the drug trafficking and all this kind of thing. So it's a very beautiful thing. So we requested a support from the subscribers to help his work because everything comes out of his pocket and he's limited in resources because he is also a poor, right? And he has to rent a van, sometimes a microbus or a minivan or a small bus to take the kids to the games. He has expenses with hot dogs. He buys a lot of rolls to cut and make the hot dogs. He buys the sodas, the soft drinks. And so he asked me, Mark, would you make a video? So I went there and I made a video. And one subscriber from the channel wanted to support. And this subscriber sent the money for him to buy all the jerseys, to make the jerseys with the factory. And that was last year. So he was always telling me, now you need to come back here to film the kids receiving the uniform. It was a very beautiful video. I went there on Saturday and I filmed the kids receiving the jerseys. They were on cloud nine. It was amazing. Um, he even gave me, actually not only me but me and my family, me, Italian Manu, new jerseys. They were not there with me, but I took the jerseys for them as a thank, and also for the subscriber that wants to remain anonymous. So it was very nice. And why am I talking about that? We're talking about sports. We're talking about uh, great players. And while I was waiting for the tournament to start, I ended up watching a few games from all levels and all ages, and inside the community, basically. Not really a community like in Rio, but a poor area. And it's funny to see how Brazilians breathe and live soccer. Even if the game is not worth anything, they take this very seriously. And I just think they need more support, right? Because in the past we had more Neymars, more Ronaldos, more Romarios. Nowadays, soccer is competing against the cell phone or the internet. So kids don't practice sports very often. Of course, these kids are from communities. I don't know how much access they have for these things. But I could see kids like 5 years old, not three, sorry, 5 years old playing in teams with the uniforms and everything. Very beautiful to see. So I ended up filming with him to show and to thank the supporter. So I hope you guys can watch this for you to see what happens in Brazil in terms of communities, of sports. This guy is a guy that needs the help, man. He needs help. He needs someone to really support him with any kind of financing because everything is costly, the bus, the food for the kids. There he says, Mark, I just say it's one row for, or it's one hot dog for each so that I can, provide for everybody. But there are kids who eat three, four, because sometimes it's the biggest meal they'll have during the day. Incredible. Incredible. Uh, I don't know if I can tell you everything that happens in these states, but no, this is a very limited view that all states have samba. Far away from this. Mato Grosso, Paraná. Paraná is European descendants. You have a very advanced state. Curitiba, the capital, has a lot of modern stuff. Sometimes they are the model city to receive new products. The new products are tested there before they can be spread out to the bigger public of Brazil. Amapá, too far, no information about it. Mato Grosso, you have a lot of nature. You have some beautiful ecotourism going on in these places. Mato Grosso do Sul, Minas Gerais, is the diversity is amazing. The food is fantastic. They have their own traditions, basically coming from slaves because the number of slaves working in the mines was big. No wonder the name is Minas Gerais, which means general mines. Roraima, not much information about that. Tocantins. Tocantins was part of Goiás before, but it was too big, so they decided to cut in half. And then Tocantins was born. You also have a lot of canyons, valleys. Fantastic, fantastic areas. Brazil has a little of everything for any taste. If you see the reels that are around there, you see I've seen one that it looks like Germany, but it's Brazil. It looks like the US, but it's Brazil. It looks like I don't know, the Caribbean, but it's Brazil. So Brazil has a little of everything. Very strong vegetation in many states. Um, Cave diving, mountain climbing, uh, German culture mixed with ours. Basically, a little of everything. There are some states that are more prone to having samba, like Rio, São Paulo. The whole Brazil likes this, but it's not something that, oh, I'm gonna arrive in I don't know, I'm gonna arrive in Ceará. People will be dancing and dressed up like baianas, those big white dresses and with a basket full of fruit. This is a dumb generalization, right? Exactly, exactly. Buddy, I have a question to you. What can you expect from a country this big? Seriously, think about a continent that has been protected, or I'm gonna say protected, but that has followed its own path due to colonization differences. We were Portugal until the 19th century, buddy. We were basically Portugal, right? Portugal was the owner, and its people are Portuguese descendants. So, of course, you have, and that's the beauty of Brazil. I don't know if you guys have seen, I have even commented here. Brazil has the most diverse DNA in the whole world. The whole world. We have mix of Portuguese, uh, 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 you know, the Portuguese had relationships with the Indians, with the slaves, and then we created the future Brazilians. A mix of everything. How much European blood do I have? How much Indian? If you get my ancestrality or my descendancy, how much Indian do you think you find in my blood? How much European? So that's the beauty. It's a mix. This is the world in one country, right? Because maybe that's why we are so happy. We receive people so well. And I feel very sad when I see other countries kicking out people because they have a different color or because they speak a different language. Xenophobia. In Brazil, people are very well treated because it's a mix. So it's not only a mix in DNA, it's a mix in culture. So if you go to Bahia, you're going to see something more connected to the slaves, to the African traditions, to the capoeira, to the samba, to the axé, mixed with the Europeans as well, okay? With the Portuguese, with the Spanish. You're going to have, if you go to the Northeast, you're going to have Dutch influence. There are cities that were Dutch by force. Like, if I'm not mistaken, Maceió was one of the capitals that was taken by force by the Dutch pirates. And then they were eventually kicked out by the Portuguese. So that's the beauty of Brazil. You don't get tired of this place. I have friends from the United States who have been my friends for about almost 4 years now, because they got to know me by the channel. Today they visit my house. They come here to São Paulo. They even play basketball with me. The guys, every time they come, the first time they came to Rio, second as well, and São Paulo. And I kept saying, expand your horizons, expand your horizons. Brazil is not only São Paulo, Rio. Expand. They went to Salvador last year. Fell in love. They really like it. This year, many other places they're planning. And everybody, my friends, go somewhere. There's something new to see, something new to learn. You know what I mean? You're wrong about the insurance policy on your life. You're wrong. I don't think your life will be in danger because you're not white. I remember, what happens in Brazil is different from what happens in the United States in terms of segregation, right? The United States has a very particular history with segregation, with with the African descendants and the European descendants and the British for that matter. In Brazil, there, I'm not saying racism doesn't exist here, racism, remember. Not saying, I'm just saying it's people are more, how can I say, integrated into groups. Stupid people exist everywhere. I think it's very limited on our parts to think of nations because there are very good. Name it the nation. There are very good people in Argentina, very good people in Brazil, very good people in the U.S., very bad people in these three countries as well. We have crazy people in Brazil, crazy people in Argentina. We have racists, Nazis everywhere as well. Unfortunately, that happens. But I always say that's the human. Humans are flawed. Big time sometimes. So what I say is, open your horizons. Do not generalize. Life is now, and life should be lived to the fullest. Do not generalize. And I'm not telling you off, okay, guys? I'm just saying what I think. I think you guys understand, right? I'm not criticizing anything you guys are saying. Your comments are welcome. They're beautiful. They enlighten this meeting, I told you. So everything you write is very welcome. I'm just telling people in general, open your horizons. Do not go to the casket having just learned about your corner, about your people, about your language. Learn 6 or 7 more before you pass away. Because with the language comes the culture. I'm going to tell you something. I didn't like Spanish when I was younger. I even said that to everybody. I don't like Spanish, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward 2025, I'm a Spanish teacher. I love the Spanish culture. I love Spain. I watch a lot of Spanish content, also Argentinian, South American. I open my horizons, and that's what I try to teach my daughter. Do not have prejudice. Do not rush to judge. That's not your job to do that. There's a God. Remember that. It's very limited in my opinion. That's my opinion. Okay, you can believe God or not. That's very limited for a human being to believe life is just that. And then we're gonna die and okay, it's done. I don't believe this. I believe in there's something bigger than this world. And I don't wanna be there before my God and have to respond to all the bad things I have thought and said to other groups because they had different languages or different colors or different opinions. I don't want. I just want to say I went all over and I got to see all I could see because that's what you take with you. Oh, that's for sure. There might be a lot of indigenous groups that disappeared or they were assimilated into Brazil society. Very well put, Josh. Very well put. I have no doubt about it. I don't want you guys to think I am here running down the Portuguese, but not even, praising them, because just study history in general. You will see a lot of bad things have happened to the world and to many smaller groups during the colony period, the colonialism period. So, you know. They say, look, I was walking, and I'm just guessing here, okay? I'm not saying I have indigenous blood. I'm just saying every Brazilian might have here or there a little of another race that is not only Europeans, because we are definitely not only Europeans. That's what I'm saying. But I was walking on the street the other day, Josh, and I came across a leaflet that said, hey, you want to know your ancestry? We have a lab here in São Paulo where you can go and be tested on the DNA for something reais, our currency. I had heard about that before. I think there are other forms for you to know your ancestry. I myself know mine. I have my family tree completely and entirely mapped out, back to the 1300s or more, even more. I even hired a guy at the time because my cousin was studying about the ancestry of my family to understand where my grandmother came from and stuff. And so we came across our family tree the way that it is, and we paid a professional to confirm it through documentation. So on my mother's part, right, which is my grandmother, my mother, and me, we know basically the whole line. I don't know about my father, because my father, I don't have much information. I know there's a Portuguese somewhere there as well, but we don't know exactly what comes before this guy. We know that he came. There is a story that he came in one of those ships, and he had to be registered once he arrived here, just like it happened to the Irish in New York. And this is on my father's part, right? So, but the rest we don't have much information. My mother's family, we could have the whole family tree mapped out. But I'm just saying, Brazilians are very diverse, you know. My wife, for example, she has a little of the north. I mean, she has a lot of the northern blood, the northeastern blood, and her father from the Europeans, because her father looks like Richard Gere. He has blue eyes and white hair, but she's a mix. I even said when I met her, I fell in love with her. She looked like Pocahontas. She had those very interesting eyes with clear eyes and a mix of the two worlds, right? And that's a Brazilian. A Brazilian is a mix of everything. There's a model called Adriana Lima. Check her out. Adriana Lima. Gisele Bündchen, you guys call Bündchen, but her name is Bündchen, German descent. Basically European. She's from Rio Grande do Sul. But if you see Adriana Lima, she's a mix. She's not only European, she's a mix of maybe African, maybe Indian, you know what I mean? So, I've spoken too much, I'm sorry. Oh, look at what Charles is saying. You're right, been there 5 times in a 3-year time span, planning my next trip. Might be a while, been to Natal. Wanna go back. Yeah, Natal, I don't know. I'd like to get to know Natal. When the Rio Grande do Norte has a lot of very well-known beaches and everything. So many who were kidnapped from Africa had trades back in their hometown. Really? I didn't know that. Okay, no problem. I'll say enslaved next time. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I think so. I don't. That's the point. Have you ever heard the history told by the victorious? By the winners, right? I don't know, maybe the victorious. That's what happened in Brazil. I think with the kind of education that we had was told by the coloners, right? Not by the colonized, not by the ones who were taken as slaves, who were enslaved. So that's the problem. I don't remember in school learning much about what these people did before, how this slavery market took place, right? Unfortunately, they didn't teach this. Why? The Portuguese. The Portuguese dictated how things would be taught. And unfortunately, buddy, this happens a lot. You end up living lies, right? You see the world through a spectrum somebody has created for you. That sucks. That sucks big time. But I'll pay attention to this next time. Thanks for letting me know. Thanks for the heads up. Interesting. I didn't know that as well. You see. Um, the interesting thing is that I learned about a book, I even bought it, that tells the American history through not the eyes of the British, but the eyes of the other people. It's very interesting. I'm going to show you just a second. Look at that. A People's History of the United States. So, one of the most important books I have ever read in a long life of reading. It's a wonderful, splendid book, a book that should be read by every American student or otherwise who wants to understand his country in its true history and its hope for the future. So he says here, he's a historian. It says here that I have read not everything. I read half of it, but I didn't go on. I don't know why. It was a turbulent time of my life. But I intend to go back and read. Known for its lively, clear prose, as well as its scholarly research, A People's History of the United States is the only volume to tell America's story from the point of view of in the words of, America's women, factory workers, African Americans, Native Americans, working poor, and immigrant laborers. Not focused on the British, right? So it's a very interesting thing. Some people try to deconstruct, right, what is taught in schools. Just so you know, Charles, this flag here, when we went to school, and this is something monarchists hate, when we went to school, what did we learn? We learned that the green represented the forests, the yellow, the gold, because Brazil is rich in both, the blue, the skies, of course. That's bullshit. That's not true, you know? This is something the Republic taught that it should be said inside the schools. Because I don't know if you know, many consider the Republic takeover a coup d'etat. Because they forced the monarchist, the emperor, to leave the country. The green actually represented the family of the King of Portugal. The yellow represent the Habsburg family. I don't know if you are aware, but the Habsburg is a very famous royalty in Austria. I went to Austria and I visited the Habsburg Palace. And the queen married to the King of Portugal was from this family. And so this is the original flag from the empire. This one. Do I have another? No, I don't. Okay. This one is the original flag. Here you have the monarchy of Portugal, the symbol of the royalty of Portugal. And then the other one represents the coffee plantations, and the other ones, if I'm not mistaken, tobacco. I need to revisit the history because I don't remember. I think tobacco and coffee because we produced a lot. And then the yellow from the Habsburg family and the green from the royal family of Portugal. So the guys changed everything and we grew up learning this. almost passed with the wheel of the chair over my big toe. So to get a glimpse of the various regions of Brazil, what are source to look for and what they have, the Rio. I think you need to take a look at choose a state and learn about it. That's what I say. Choose a state, choose a region, and try to study as much as you can about it. You're gonna be baffled by the diversity. I never say if it's diversity. I'm making mistakes here. Take a look at a region, specific region, or maybe a state, and go for it. Basically, you're gonna learn a lot. I don't know what São Paulo and Rio. I think São Paulo and Rio have a lot of development in terms of industries and jobs and society. Our cities are bigger, but we also have other problems that maybe they don't have, right? But the cities are bigger. There's a lot of traffic jams. There are a lot of universities. There are a lot of cinemas. There's food from everywhere because the cities end up become a global location, like São Paulo for that matter. Because there are too many people, we tend to respect the laws much more. I have heard of places in the Northeast, I don't want to mention any specific place, where the guys just park their cars over the sidewalk. And then they open the door and go buy something, and it's there on the sidewalk. Do you know how possible is it to see this in São Paulo? It's impossible. If you do that, in the next minute, you have a police car in front of you. So we have these differences, right? But every region is rich in culture, is rich in food, so it's worth the investigation. And don't hate me. I don't hate you for supporting Corinthians. It's okay. Yeah, there's a bad story about São Paulo. I don't know if it's true. People say it is, but I don't know. They say it was an elite club when it was open, and there was a black player who wanted to play in the team of São Paulo, and it was not possible. So he ended up getting some kind of makeup and putting on the face to look a little whiter. And because of that, the nickname they gave for the fans of São Paulo was Pó de Arroz at the beginning. Because arroz is rice and pó is powder, so it's rice powder. And for many years, when I was a kid, I remember it was still this. People would say, you like São Paulo? Pó de arroz, pó de arroz. Nowadays, they call Bambi because they say it's a team of gay people, which is very stupid. But I don't know. I think São Paulo has this story I have never investigated, but I tend to do that one day. If it's true, that's very sad, right? Because it's stupid, very stupid that this ever happened in the world, anywhere, it sucks. Christopher Columbus is a great example of this. I've heard Charles. In school, he's taught as a great explorer. Right? He was anything, but I agree. I agree. There's a story. I don't know if it's true. Do you know? I made a video about a guy called Silvio Santos. I don't know if you got to watch. Silvio Santos was a Jewish guy from Rio de Janeiro, very famous here. I recommend you watch for you to learn a little bit more about our culture because he's part of our culture. And there is a story that his ancestor was very big in Portugal, in Europe, back in the 1400s, 1500s, something like this. And he was called to solve the problems with the court in Portugal, the financial problems, because he was very good with numbers. And they say his ancestor was the guy who gave money to Christopher Columbus to travel and end up discovering America. So it's a very interesting piece of story that I had. Josh is asking, I wonder why Brazil is generalized being huge. I don't know. More importantly, Rio, right? São Paulo is getting famous now. Then again, I'm 44, remember. Just a second, guys. Manu, everything okay? So, guys, at least when I was a kid, I didn't hear much about people wanting to travel to São Paulo as tourism. I knew that this was the business capital, so everybody came to do business with the Paulistas because big corporations are here. But nowadays it's different. I think a couple of years ago we were number one in visitors. We beat Rio de Janeiro. So São Paulo and Rio has always been popular. São Paulo is a new thing. But maybe the way that it's sold, right? Maybe the way that the media sells. For example, I watched that movie with I'm the Legend with Will Smith, in which Alice Braga works. And Alice Braga is a Brazilian actress. She mentions very clearly when Will Smith's character meets her, she says, I'm from São Paulo. I came from São Paulo. I think it was the first time I remember the name of my city was mentioned in a Hollywood movie. I was like very proud. Wow, they're recognizing São Paulo. But nowadays, everywhere. I saw another one with Alice Braga, which is Dark Matter from Apple TV. She also mentioned, I was in São Paulo. And so many others. I remember Keanu Reeves coming here to work in a production with Netflix, filmed in São Paulo, but I think it never flew. The show never flew, unfortunately. But I don't know. I think it's up to the government or the tourism ministry to start selling more things about Brazil, not only these two places. Yeah, oh, Charles, very good that you know this. Yes, I've heard that Fluminense and São Paulo, they have a similar story, no? Unfortunately, on this subject. Jada Pinkett. I think she's a lesbian, buddy. If I'm not mistaken, I think she's a lesbian. No, I'm pretty sure she's a lesbian. I think she dates another actress. Very good, Josh. Very good that you are trying to learn about these things. I have a question. In all the live streams that we are here and that you participate, you show a lot of desire to learn about the things that are not mainstream about Brazil, and that's very fantastic on your part. I would like to know why. I'm asking you now, right? How did this passion start? You know, about Brazil. How did the sparkle start for you? Because you don't wake up one day and say, okay, I'm gonna learn about Brazil. I'm gonna follow everything about Brazil. So it would be very nice of you if you wanna share with us your story. Yeah, I don't know the show. I wanna check because I I think I haven't had Netflix for a while now. I'm just focusing on the streams that are cheaper, of course, and that have interesting things. So I have HBO Max and Prime Video. I have Global Play from Brazil. Margot Robbie. That's interesting. Anyone but Jada. Are they still together, man? Mid 2010. Interesting. Do you have any connection with music, buddy? Do you work with music? Do you like to explore music from different places? What's the point? Yeah, Netflix has a very nice catalog, buddy. But look, I'm not interested in paying 50 reais for Netflix. Ah, man, you're being a cheapskate. No, I have other priorities, you know. I have so many other costs. Like I pay for my daughter's school. She goes to a private school. So if I don't control my expenses, that's complicated. So I want to have entertain. I'm not saying they're not worth it. They are. They have very, very good shows. I want to see some of them, and I miss the shows from Netflix. I might subscribe very soon again. But they have, jacked up the price too much, in my opinion. You mean really record, right? Yeah, budget conscious, exactly. I try to control. I've made too many mistakes in my life with money. I don't intend to do that anymore, you know? So, but I miss some shows. There are some animations from Japan that I loved watching as well, and I miss them. I have to stop talking about it or I'm gonna go subscribe tonight. I need to control my desires on this, right? But they have very good shows. They just try to make up for all the losses they were having by jacking up the price. So that sucks. Nice. I was gonna ask you if you have ever, or if you had ever explored the Brazilian music other than samba, because the MPB here is fantastic. I have information of people who are crazy about the Brazilian music, and people go to Japan, for example, to Tokyo, and they're playing MPB. They go to Italy, they're playing MPB. So the quality of the Brazilian music is very well known abroad. So yeah, about the records, Charles. Nowadays, it's a big thing, right? People uh, they have been able to go around the evolution in terms of CDs and this kind of thing. So CDs disappeared, the laser discs disappeared, but the records, the vinyl records, the long plays, right? We call LPs. They're still here, and they have a niche, right? A public that consumes that a lot. Fantastic. Very interesting information about the hip hop producer. One of the biggest examples that I use is Ben Harper from the United States. I have mentioned this many times for a few friends here. He came to Brazil and he listened to Vanessa da Mata. And he fell in love. Basically fell in love for her music, or maybe for her, I don't know. Fell in love with the music, right, with her. And he ended up creating a song, writing a song, and singing with her. They have a duo. That's very nice. I'm gonna write the name of the girl here. Just one second. The name of the song is Boa Sorte, Good Luck. So it's in both languages. I'm just gonna copy the link to send you guys. Somebody said that he came here, he wanted to listen to Brazilian music, and he listened to her sing and he said, oh, I need to work with her. So they made a duo together. There you go, the link is there. Ana Vitória's music, yes. Vanessa da Mata is similar to Ana Vitória, or Ana Vitória is similar to Vanessa da Mata, because I think Vanessa da Mata came first. Perfect. You still learning Portuguese, Charles, or you're fluent already? Yeah, but even though your genre is another one, Josh, I can see you explore music in its essence, right? To learn more. That's very cool. So you don't get limited to one idea, one style, right? Guys, we have approached 2 hours of our live stream. I want to thank you all. I think it's about time to wrap up. And I'll get to see you guys on Friday. May God allow, Friday 6:30. Thank you very much. I've been speaking for 2 hours, so thank you for being with me until the end. I had some news to tell today, but we didn't have many people today, so I'm gonna leave the new information for Friday when I come here and I open some new things that I'm working with. Hopefully you will have seen a few videos up until then, or if not, I'm gonna come here and I'm going to let you guys know everything that I'm not only planning, but I'm working on the backstage. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, click on the like button, as I always say. Consider becoming a member and also supporting the channel. As I said, the smallest or the cheapest category is $3 a month. So if you can do this, I appreciate it. If you can, keep watching. Write a comment for every video that you see, as I always say. And thank you so much. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for each and every one of you who have been here anytime during those 2 hours. Baldini, Travel Tales, Annalise Bodorini. Basically everyone. It means a lot. Hope you guys have a great night. I'm going to log out here. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.